Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Rissy, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome back to another episode of Winning in Business. I'm Kelly Rissy, and I'm so excited today to be with my guest. She is out of New Jersey, and thank goodness for technology because that is how we met. So I would like to introduce Zeynep Ekemen, and she is a serial entrepreneur with a passion for innovation. She is the multi-million-dollar in her first year inventor of Silver Defender, which ended up on every single continent. And it is an antimicrobial film company that specializes in providing protection for high touch points. With a strong vision and mission, a solid business strategy, and the right resources and tools, Z, as she is known by, has built a successful company that is making a positive impact in the world. She is a member of the Forbes Business Council, has published multiple articles, and continues to share her insights with the community. She has been recognized with multiple awards, which I'm sure she'll share as we get into the interview, and continues to make a positive impact and inspire others to pursue their dreams. So, welcome, Z. Thanks for being on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I am so curious, I know that you, as being a serial entrepreneur, you have several businesses. So dive into how you became a CEO, kind of your journey along the way, and just, share with us a little bit about you.
Sure, of course. So my main business for the past, I would say 12, 13 years has been in commercial real estate. That's what I've been doing. But I always wanted to invent something of my own. I had commercial real estate, but, every day I would look for some sort of a problem that I can find. So I was always looking to invent something. And I thought one day the idea might just, come to me like a light bulb moment. Well, it actually did. So I would actually watch like Shark Tank, trying to see if something would ignite, and
yes.
You watch Shark Tank and you say, oh, I should have invented that or something similar to it, right? It looks so easy. So it took me about, my whole life. I'm almost 44 years old. So one day I was at Starbucks. This was in 2018. This was 2 years before the pandemic. And a friend of mine was leaving the restroom and he had paper towels in his hand. And, he was opening the door and he said, these door handles are disgusting. Somebody has to do something about them. And that was literally like my light bulb moment that I've been waiting for. I was like, there's the idea. Then it took about 2 years to figure out how to make it, what it was going to be. I had the idea, but I needed the actual product. So it took about 2 years and we figured out the perfect product. It's an antimicrobial film that goes on everything you touch, like door handles, elevator buttons, railings, and it's self-cleaning. So it's always clean. It's 99.9% clean, no matter how many times you touch it. And we happened to launch our company January 2020. So we were literally at the right place at the right time. So we had the solution that was probably needed the most in the last century, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where, preparation meets opportunity, they say. That's exactly what it was for us.
Well, and I think, even today, right? So if we look at, I don't know, is COVID over or not? I mean, yes, no, whatever, germs still everywhere, right? And I'm thinking, like, I'm just sitting here thinking about, like you said, Starbucks, all the places that you go. Then I'm thinking back to when my kids were younger and schools and germs and all the places that could truly use your products, hospitals, right? So where you said your product ended up in like every continent. Where is your product and what type of places?
It's literally in every industry you can imagine. So obviously, hospitals, schools, government buildings, shopping stores like grocery stores, because every grocery cart handle needs it, banks
Yes.
and machines. If you're on a bus, the railing, literally anyone that has a door or a touch point is a potential customer for us. Because if you just think, when you leave your house, all the things that you're touching, every single one of those touch points can be covered with our film. And even before we launched our products, from 2018 on, I would just randomly notice mothers with their small children. Do you know how many times a mom says, don't touch that to their kid because it's dirty? So, like the feeling of germs and bacteria were always there before COVID, and obviously now more than ever. So yeah, we are providing a solution for that problem that has always existed.
Yeah. So can you go into a little bit more of then, was the process for you, you needed investors, you needed scientists to help come up with I don't know, is the word biology behind it, like how to make the product, like what all did you do to then, you had the idea, what was the process behind that?
So it was a self-funded operation. We didn't need any investors.
Okay.
But obviously we needed chemists and scientists to figure out how to make the film. Believe it or not, because everybody says, do you have a chemistry background or are you a scientist? And my answer is like, no, I have Google. You can literally Google anything these days. If you want to have something that you want to create, we live in a world right now where it's so easy to have access to everything. Mm-hmm. And I looked up, non-toxic antimicrobial agents. And when you look at that, silver and copper go back to centuries ago. Silver has these qualities that, in ancient times, they knew silver had these antimicrobial capabilities. So once you figure that out, now you just have to figure out how to get it into film, which that's where the scientists and the different manufacturers come into play. And you test different formulas. And that's how we created our product. It was about a 2-year research and development. And yeah.
Oh, that is fabulous. So in your, from the real estate world, then you move into this new world. Like what advice do you have for people? What ahas do you have to share? Because you have to have some big tips out there for people just because of the different industries that you've even been in.
Yes. Well, I think it all becomes, I'm all about like self-development, and it all starts with you. Yes. And, our first year of business, I was probably working like 16, 18-hour days for the entire year because, we had a startup. We knew it was going to be hard, but we didn't know it was going to be in the middle of the pandemic where everybody wants your product. So it was a good problem to have, but then we couldn't figure out how to scale so fast. So it was like you had to have the endurance for the unexpected growth. And my one tip has always been to kind of have like a very healthy lifestyle. I work out every single day, and I think that's what keeps me sane. I have to start every morning with a vigorous workout. And if I don't do it, I feel like I'm off my game. I'll never go more than like 2 days without working out. I think that has really helped me in my success because that kind of builds discipline. Like no matter how tired you wake up, you just make sure you go to the gym, you get it over with, and then the rest of the day gets easier.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. I am a workout person as well. And just doing something physical, right? Moving our body helps our mind as well, right? Like how many ideas come to you when you're working out or just relieving the stress or whatever that is.
Exactly. I'm constantly on my phone when I work out. Like my trainers will always say, like, put down your phone. I'm like, no, this is when I get my best ideas. I'll probably come up like with 5 to 10 things that I haven't thought about that I have to do that day while I'm working out. And most of them are like great ideas that I wouldn't have thought about if I wasn't like just doing something really vigorous. So yeah, definitely. I think that's like my key every single morning, just to get up. Don't even think about it, because if you think about it, you think about all the reasons why you shouldn't go. You try to make excuses. So my tip is just like get up and go and get it over with. And I always say you never regret a workout, but you always regret not working out.
Yes. Yes. So, and I think, don't you agree, like discipline for entrepreneurs, for business owners? I mean, we don't have bosses. We are the boss. Exactly. So we have to be disciplined.
Correct. And another thing that I've been doing, I'm actually doing it a second time around now. There's a program called 75 Hard. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Have you done it?
I have not done it.
But it is literally life-changing. I've
Mhm.
done it. This is my second time doing it. I have so many friends that I have pushed into doing it. Some actually finished it, some gave up. But when I say it's life-changing, you are never the same person again once you finish this
Right.
program. At first, I thought it was like a fitness program. It's like 75 days of dieting. It has nothing to do with fitness. It's a
Mhm.
mental challenge. Like it's just, it makes you such a strong person because for 75 days, you have to do these certain tasks. And if you fail one, you have to start all
Start
over
over.
again.
Mhm.
And the first time I did it, it was in the middle of winter. And one of the tasks is doing an outside workout for an hour. I remember it was like November, 10 degrees, snowing, ice, and you have to be out there for an hour in the dark.
Yeah.
And it just makes you so mentally strong that like you, and the thing is like, yeah, you can, say you did it, but then you're lying to yourself. So you have to go out and do it. So it builds
Mhm.
like a character and discipline. So that's
Yeah.
something I always suggest to everyone, like try it once and you're never the same again.
That's great. And I think it proves to you then, you can do anything. We can literally do anything we put
You
our
can do
minds to.
that, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. Okay. What else? What other advice do you have?
The other advice I have would probably be to have a mentor, like someone that you can look up to, either in your field or in a totally different field. I have a mentor that's in a totally different field than I am, but she's 78 years old, and this woman is the hardest working woman I know. She's at work at 6 a.m., gets out at 6 p.m., works 5 days a week, 12-hour days. She works hard, but she plays even harder at that age. So
Yeah, that's
every
great.
time I'm tired to do something, I always think like, what would she be doing? She would be working.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
important to have someone that, you can look up to that's, a little bit older and ahead of you in life and see what they had to do to get to where they are.
Hmm. That's perfect. Good. What else?
What else? I would say I have a great group of friends surrounding me as well. I think it's all about the quality of people around you and not quantity. And 75 Hard actually made me realize that the first time I did it. One of the tasks of 75 Hard is that you have to stop alcohol 100%. So it's crazy to me that I realized there were certain people in my life that I couldn't fathom going out and have a, drinks or dinner with without drinking, without having a glass of wine. It makes you realize, like, do I really want these type of people in my life if I have to have a drink to hang out with them?
Right.
So it makes you like literally cleanse your circle and
Hmm.
keep quality people around that are there for you, supporting you no matter what, that you have fun with no matter what. And I think, yes, I think your circle is very important, especially when you're in a business where you're trying to grow and be successful.
Yes, I agree. It is truly
Um,
who you surround yourself with.
yeah, it's true.
Right. And, and the mindset of those people. 2023, I have not drank at all either. Like,
Mhm.
I just, I was never a big drinker anyway.
Yeah.
And then I just decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to drink at all in 2023. Like, I don't feel good afterwards. Like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it to me. So I just stopped altogether. And of course I feel so much better,
Yeah.
drop some pounds. That's,
Mhm.
always an
And then
added
like your
bonus.
skin glows and you're
Yes.
energetic and you're clear. Yeah, it's just a
Yes.
whole different ball game. Exactly. And it's
Yes.
very important. Like it made me realize that, when you say quality of people around you, I have so many friends that are like, good for you. We're going to try it too. This is so great. I can't believe you're doing this. But then you'll have those friends that will encourage you to drink, like, oh, just have a drink. Like,
Yes.
so what? It's day 60. You can have a drink now. Like, why
Right.
would I celebrate doing this for 60 days and give up 15 days short to have a
Mhm.
drink with you?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So any other advice that you want to give? Any other ahas that you've had just
um,
through your career?
I don't think they're ahas. They're more like my daily habits, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah. Okay.
Say.
Yeah,
But
sure. I'd love to hear your daily
I'm all
habits.
about like manifestation and
Yes.
visualization. I think that's key. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about it, but I have been doing it probably since I would say, according to my journal, 2016. I have a journal that I keep that I write in every single day. And most people just manifest things. The way I do it is a little bit different. That has worked well for me. I'm not saying this is what you have to do,
Okay.
But on my journal, on the left side, I'll do like a gratitude list. I'll do like 10 things that I'm grateful for. And on the right side, I will do 10 things that I want to manifest. Because I feel like you can't really manifest without gratitude. I start with that first. And then it's crazy because I've been doing this, since 2016. Once in a while, I'll go back in the journal and I'll look at the things that I have manifested that were crazy at the time, but then they become true. So it's like, I feel like the universe doesn't know how crazy your wishes are, right?
Right. Yeah, because whatever you put out there, like we know this, right? I mean, this is like scientific. Whatever you put out there, your brain is looking for. So if the universe knows you want it, then your brain is looking for how to make that work. And then it's going to find opportunities, find ways, find people to make that work for you, which is beautiful. And then I think the whole thing that goes along with that too is the energy that then it creates, right? As us being energetic beings, when you're finding those opportunities, then you're creating energy that then is feeding off of someone else, giving energy to someone else. And then it just makes the energy go around the world.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to, like, when you manifest something, like, don't worry about how it's going to happen. I always say that, like, I've written things in there where they're so delusional and so crazy, but like the universe has a crazy way of making things happen. I mean, look, like my product that we invented it 2 years, we were hit with a pandemic. Who would have thought that we would have had a product that would be so fitting?
Right.
It was needed the most, Yeah. So things happened.
Yes. Oh, good. Okay. What other habits? I'm a habit junkie.
I know.
What else? Anything else that comes? So we know you exercise. You have really looked at your friends.
Yeah.
You are journaling, you're manifesting, you have the gratitude practice in place. Anything else come to mind? You talked about, I'm sure, healthy eating. Yes. What else did you just say?
Like you have to have a good mentor, one or two.
Oh yes, a good mentor.
Yeah. And then also, mentoring others is a big thing too, because I feel like you learn so much when you're mentoring others. I don't have a huge social media following, but I have a good enough following where I get young entrepreneurs, mostly women, that would reach out to me, and I love helping them because I was there once and I didn't have anyone to kind of talk to or figure it out. I had to kind of figure out things on my own. So I feel like you learn so much while you mentor others too. So
I agree. I was a mentor to someone, and really just seeing a different perspective. Like our lives were so completely different, the person that I mentored, and just seeing a whole different perspective of life was like, it was fabulous for me. You know what I don't even know that I can put it into words, honestly, other than it's so great to give back. Isn't it?
I agree.
Yeah.
And you definitely learn something from them too.
Yes.
Like you said, they're from different, they're usually younger than you, and the young ones are thinking now.
Yeah, that's good. So I always ask this question, as a business owner, what challenges do you face?
Oh God, I'm full of challenges too. Full of habits, but I'm full of challenges too. Well, this is not really a challenge. People ask me this as a challenge question because I'm in a both very male-dominated industry. Nanotechnology is very male-dominated, so is commercial real estate. But I've never saw it like a male-dominated challenge. I'm very competitive, so to me, it's like bring on the competition. I can beat you too.
Yes.
That's a challenge. I think my biggest challenge right now is with my business, Silver Defender, the antimicrobial films, because Silver Defender, like I said, we were at the right place at the right time. So we are looked at as a COVID product, which is not true. Like I said, we invented this before. So now it's all about reinventing the company. We're kind of starting from scratch, So the challenge there is we had about 18 competitors that came onto the market after us. Every single one has shut down their doors, and we're the only ones remaining in business. And the reason for that is, we believed in the product before the pandemic. We know it has longevity after, but it's just a matter of, staying alive and just having organic growth back. So that's our biggest challenge right now, to bring, brand awareness.
Yes.
And making people realize that this is an everyday issue problem.
Yeah. Like getting people to figuring out a way to market it, right? That it doesn't, this is what I'm going to say in my words, a way to market it that it doesn't remind people of COVID.
Exactly. Because right now it's like trying to sell off our films is the same as trying to sell a face mask.
Right. People are like,
people that are still buying face masks. So yeah, it's all about rebranding, and there's so many industries that we need to market after.
yes.
It takes, man hours and financial stability. So it's very difficult, but we definitely see potential in the brand. Like every time I see like a mother telling their child not to touch something, or you see people opening the door with paper towels, we know there's a need for our product.
Yes. Oh, yes. So what are your goals then moving forward?
Our goals is, like I said, just to, first of all, build brand awareness with our product.
Good.
And then we have other products that are in research and development that are antimicrobial related that we want to bring onto the market. One of those products are mattress covers that we're making mainly for hospital systems. Believe it or not, a lot of hospitals, they don't have anything under the sheet that you're laying on. So the mattress, between you and the mattress, there's nothing. That's how you get infectious diseases in a hospital. So we want to create a barrier between you and the mattress. And we really think that's going to make a huge difference in the healthcare system.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah,
nice.
There's an exciting project that we're working on right now.
That's fabulous. What about for you? What about goals for you in life? You have such great habits going on. What's like the next, self-development thing you're doing?
I guess my goal in life is just like my brand right now.
You're like all business right now.
I'm all business. Yeah, exactly. I'm all business. I'm putting like 100% into this. There's really nothing else in my life that I'm concentrating on but this business, because it requires that. I can't be like 90%, and it has to be 100%, just because it has so much potential, but it needs 100% of me to get there.
Yes.
So
yes. And there are definitely, all businesses require 100%, right? And there are times I feel like in business where you are more in the grind and the grit than other times. Do you know what I mean? And right now, because of what had happened and where we are now, you're back in the, like you're kind of back in that grind of things.
Like we're back into that startup mode. It's like a startup all over again. It has brand recognition, it has a name, but it's just, from scratch almost.
Yeah. So what accomplishments, I just mentioned in your bio, I kind of did the teaser of, you have received awards, just personally and for your businesses and whatnot. What accomplishments are you really proud of? And you can list as many as you like.
Well, I think our biggest accomplishment is, and I didn't know how big this was, there is an award called the ISSA Award. ISSA is the Leading Cleaning Industry Association. I did not know this until I got into the cleaning business myself. And in 2020, the first year we were in business, we won the ISSA Technology Award for our product. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Whatever ISSA is, thank you very much, right? The following year, we go to Las Vegas to the ISSA show. It was like a cleaning show where all the cleaning different companies show up. And it's at the Las Vegas Convention Center. If you've ever been there, you know how massive it is. You can't even see the other side.
Right.
You walk in and there's booth after booth after booth. And it's companies like Purell and Gojo and Clorox. We won that award. So when you see, like I still get goosebumps thinking about it. Because when you walk in, and you see these industry giants of the cleaning world. And I'm like, wait, we won the technology award for this group? Like it was a huge awakening. And it made me realize, like, okay, if they're recognizing us as best in technology, we have something here, right?
Yes.
So I think that was probably our biggest accomplishment. And also like who have used our films during the pandemic was also very, like record breaking for us. We had companies like Clorox that was using our film on their doors, instead of wiping it down with their product, they're using ours. We were in the World Trade Center buildings, NFL, MLB, there's just all these crazy names that were using our products.
Yeah. And then it even going into the other, continents. How did that happen? How did you get over there?
I think it was just like through our different distributors or
Okay.
seeing us on social media or LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn, and I don't think people realize how important LinkedIn is for a business owner to be on and to be constantly posting and connecting. I mean, you can literally connect to anyone on LinkedIn that's a decision maker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just people like recognizing our product, and it was so demanded at the time that it was kind of like an easy reach for us to go around the world.
Yeah, it's very interesting on LinkedIn that I know business owners that are like, yeah, I'm not on LinkedIn. Like,
Yeah,
you're not on
when I
LinkedIn.
hear that, I'm like, how are you in business? Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can definitely up my postings and things like that, but I am on LinkedIn. I have a presence on LinkedIn. You know what I mean? And they're like, I'm not even on LinkedIn yet. I'm like, that's where business takes place. Get on LinkedIn. That's my big piece of advice. Get on LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, and then for you, one of the questions that I would love to ask is just like, what's the latest book you've read, or what really fills your mind, that whether it be a book, a podcast, a movie, that has just inspired you or really changed you?
I mean, I read a lot. I have a whole library at home. I'm a big reader. I have a lot of people that reach out to me that ask me like, what book are you reading this week?
Yeah.
I mean, probably my two favorite authors have to be Napoleon Hill. I feel like any book he has ever written, go read it like 3 times.
Right.
Napoleon Hill is a big one. And then I love Robert Greene, like all of his like 48 Laws of Power. I think it's such a great read. I think everyone should read it at least once. But I haven't read anything fiction probably in 5 years. It's all very like business or motivational books because I find more value in those.
Right.
But those would be my top 2.
That's great. I'm kind of the same. Although I have started to, I'm going to say I've given myself permission to go back and read fiction every now and then.
Okay.
I do love fiction, and I can get through a fiction book very quickly. You know what I mean? It's just quick.
Yeah.
And so there are times, especially if I go on vacation, I'm taking a fiction book. I am just going to allow myself to read some fiction. And then actually over the summer, I let myself, I allow myself to read a couple more fiction books over the summer.
Okay.
Because I miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way as you, although I do a lot of audiobooks. It's easier for me to do audio because I can listen to it in the car. I listen to it in the shower. I can listen to it when I'm getting ready. Like it just can be on. I can listen to it while I'm chopping vegetables, like whatever. It can just be on all the time. And so I do a lot of audiobooks. And other people do podcasts then, which, I can do that as well.
Yeah.
However, it's so very interesting. When I read fiction, I want it in my hand. I need fiction in my hand.
Yeah.
Which I think is why I listen to, and I love, like, I'm also self-development, love that. You know what I mean? So I'm always like, what's the next one? What's the next one? So the one that I just got done, I'm in the middle of right now, is called Before Happiness.
Okay.
And he did the Happiness Advantage. And so it's Before Happiness. So I just got done, or I'm in the middle of listening to that one, which is really good because I think, what do we don't want to be stressed. We want to have more happiness in our life.
That's true.
And so I speak on stress. So for me, it's all about like bringing more happiness and joy into our lives. So it's a good one right now. That's the one I'm listening to. So, yeah. That may not be your cup of tea, but that's just the one that I'm listening right now, just because it happens to, go with what I do and everything. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything else you want to share with the listeners?
I think we covered everything.
Okay, perfect. And listeners, if you have connections to anyone that can get this product out and into their place, like we need to connect you with Z, because it just sounds like such an amazing product to me that truly is needed everywhere, whether we're in a pandemic or not. Like, this is important to be having this self-cleaning film that can like clean itself on surfaces. Just sounds absolutely amazing to me. So where would you like to, for people to connect with you? Where can they do that? What's the easiest place?
Probably they could find me on LinkedIn or on my Instagram. The Instagram is Z_Silver Defender.
Oh, perfect. That one's an easy one.
Yeah.
So Z_Silver Defender.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the notes. I'll also put your LinkedIn in the notes so people can grab it there. But, I first of all, I looked at, I did some research and looked at your Instagram presence, and you are gorgeous, y'all. If you are just listening to this podcast, she is absolutely gorgeous. And you have some of the most beautiful shots of you, like photography wise, of where your pictures are taken and whatnot. So, yes. So you should definitely follow her on Instagram, and then you will know more about what is happening in the Silver Defender world as well, as far as the mattress, covers. Is it covers? Thank you. I was going to say pads, and I'm like, that's not what she said. Mattress covers are coming out. Well, I appreciate you coming on today. So thank you for just sharing some great tips and helping people know what your daily habits are, that clearly your habits have made you very successful. So listeners, adopt some of those habits if you don't have them already in place, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you share this with someone else that needs to hear it. And I will be back next week with another episode. Until then, keep winning in business and rise up and live. Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.